with the team overall. Do you have any familiarity with them?
I've definitely heard of their team before. I think I've maybe even casted them a few times before as well. But I need to see the roster again. I remember them being absolutely crazy. They are just
Well, let's
aggressive,
look.
aggressive, and they are a full conglomeration of them.
Uh, cheat code. Oh,
Oh,
sure.
there we
Okay.
go.
Cheat code, bossy, simple. Oh
Oh
yeah,
yes,
these are
I
yes.
remember
Okay.
this. The alum of Monkey Mode Gaming. They are a fun team to watch. Bossy is usually on the Reina pick. Looks like this time around they're gonna be switching things up. Cheat Code now on the Reina. I think they might be a new pickup for the team, but Simple and Bossy have been crazy in this formation.
Yeah, I agree. However, we also again got to give credit. Not just miniature has been amazing, but also Jay Sung as well, and Exalt. They are also common names that I've seen quite a bit. Exalt is really good duelist for the team, and we're going into Ascent. Surprise! It's such a popular
Wow.
map. Wow, I can't believe it's truly amazing. But either way, going into this, it is looking like not entirely a mirror matchup. Foregoing the Killjoy for the Breach, how are we feeling about this?
I think that's gonna be really interesting. We actually saw the same exact formation happen between Sedated and I believe that was French Toast Mafia on Split. This is a completely different map, but still having that
Sure.
initiator going through, being a little bit more aggressive on the attacking side could make or break how one of these teams plays. But the sides are kind of reverse for how I feel like they should be playing. The Killjoy, much better, I would say, defending agent at times for Ascent rather than the flank drone or flank turret. I think it'll be interesting to see how these two go on, I think, less comfortable sides for each agent.
That's fair. Granted, however, post plant situation, a good killjoy
True.
will lock that down instantly with some mollies and just a nicely placed turret to get some info and a little bit of tag damage. So, uh, honestly, while statistically you are absolutely correct, it comes down also to the player as well. It's that perfect balance of statistics and also individuality. So I'll have to go in and see how this goes. But either way, we are going into the Frenzy meta pistol, along with a couple of ghosts, it seemed like, obviously. So this makes me feel like they are going to challenge mid quite a bit. Armor, obviously. A lot of squishiness on headshot, so it tells me that they are going to try to win the pistol just from pure skill alone. But if they don't, then might force buy into the next round. We'll have to wait and see. Already, smokes are going to come out and take out Cat as the drone will go through. Actually, they're going to smoke both entrances. They're just going to kind of peek through. I don't know if Valen's going to be ready for this, but we'll see. I don't know if they notice the Cypher as Miniature's right across from them. Going to be able to find one, but they're traded out before Valen gets stunned. Still 1-for-1 as they push on B, but however, the information is still there for Headshot. Can't make too much of it, though. Jason goes down, unfortunately. Backside is all down to Josh. Able to find one, but gets cornered by the Molly and will get traded out. It's a good trade for trade, and it's not impossible for Headshot. With the health advantage technically in their favor, they could just have 1-by-1. A good flash coming in. Gets two. One more remaining somewhere abouts in B main as they are... Oh, no, stairs. Excuse me, look the other way, but either way, Exalt will too as well, and they will be able to lock it down. Headshot percentage purely going off with their confidence and skill and winning out the pistol.
There was a strong early round coming out from Pugstars. They had that early aggression going into mid-site like you predicted, Bemi, but from there, once they got somewhat mid-control, they kind of just crumpled one body after another. Well, they got themselves on the B-site, they got the plant down, that was fantastic, but the post-plant was all entirely in headshots percentage area.
Mm-hmm. I mean, player advantage, health advantage, people were getting tagged left and right, and they had a lot of information to go off of too. I mean, there was a lot of great arrows coming in from Jason. Unfortunately, not seeing too much action, but really being a key component, I would say, an unsung hero. Info is all in the name of the game. Audio cues, knowing where your enemy is, and that's sometimes where it comes down to a really good Sova to act upon it. So well done from them.
Looking around though, top of Cat, it's gonna be Bossy TV and the other duelist pushing on a little bit more. It's gonna be interesting to see if cheat code can actually activate any cheat codes here to maybe find an opening pick. Looks like the breach has been detected though. He's gonna be flashed out completely. He tries to counter it out while he can, but even then though, he has to push up. He's blinded out completely, but he might be able to find so many important bodies, including maybe the spike. But it's not gonna be just the breach, it's the whole slew of kills coming out from headshot percentage. A triple kill no less coming out from Josh as well is gonna help put themselves on the map. They already have 1 point in their favor, Bemmy, and things are looking a lot better. Only one left alive for Pugstars. They're really pushing on up, but when you're in such a terrible spot like that, you have no choice but to win if you're a defender.
Yeah, and on top of that as well, they did the best they could. It was obviously a bit of a safe round with some investment going into it. Or no, not a safe round, excuse me. It was a buy going into it. And a respectful one, you don't want to try to spiral out of control, but they are going to go for the force again. Full armor and stingers. They know that they're going to be bonusing against headshot because they won that, and they're only going to be going up potentially other rifles, but they're going to balance themselves out by buying Ares and Bulldogs. So now the team, technically while having firepower, they're not too far behind. Jason will try to live up to the heavy rifle and damage through the wall. The wall bang Sova is such a strong thing. Does actually manage to get the Omen. Well, actually, Omen gets tagged in the process. Don't know where that damage came from, but either way, this B push looking like it's very short-lived. Miniature goes around, finds one, but however, Iconic, oh, they've been doing pretty well lately with this thing. They're able to find another duel again. Just before the door closes, cheat code managed to find one as well. And this was a very brief push around, a quick turnaround thanks to the fact that they were bonusing each other. So, look, Pugstars very fortunate to have that round go in their favor.
Absolutely. I thought it was really early and super sudden for the lockdown for Killjoy to come out, but it worked phenomenally for them. They used that to their advantage. You see a lot of teams bring out the lockdown for Killjoy in an early what seems to be rush, and then a lot of times they just kind of stall themselves out at B main. I'm really glad we saw Pugstars take advantage of the clearing out of these defenders. They pushed them directly into their line of fire, and they made it work. But now we're going to be returning yet again, still a lead for headshot percentage. We have to see now if they're able to find this opening pick or not, and that could definitely sway how the round goes. It's gonna be an opening pick now. Body already gone on Pugstar's side, but as the numbers keep whittling away, look how stalled out the push has become, Bemmy.
Yeah, and you don't want that as well, because you want to rush onto the sites, especially when you know you have the gun disadvantage. You just kind of want to push in there, the group, see if maybe you can find some. They'll be able to find one, but honestly, the bleeding hasn't stopped anytime soon for the side of Pugstars. Granted, this was a bonus round for them, as they were in stingers and armors for the majority of this, with a couple of rifles buying into this. So it will be still expensive, but not as expensive as they could have had happen. They managed to find one. Potentially could still get a plant onto this. There's really, it's a 2v2 unless the rotate happens. Nasi might be able to catch them off guard. They have the info. Good flash. Gets one. Valen knows that the other two are there, so the site's pretty open. It's a 1v2, and in post-plant situation, it's very doable with an Omen because you got infinite smokes.
Great turnaround coming out from Valen, now getting the spike into the ground. It's going to be forcing these two defenders to play from pretty much only one satisfactory angle, and that's going to be inside of heaven. That's going to give Valen plenty of opportunities to hide themselves away potentially if they want to, and it seems like they are pushing up into heaven. But interestingly, headshot percentage, they aren't going to go for the heaven route. They're going to go by land, not by one, by sea. No, they're going to go by land and go down below. Possibly just around the corner, it could be Valen maybe trying to find them out, but it's a whole big game of cat and mouse. Hiding the positions, looking up top, has no idea where the Cypher is, able to blind out both of them. He's going to jump down, looks for the free fire, not able to find a miniature through the smoke. Finds one.
I wonder if they pinged in the smoke as well. That would have been a lot more helpful to get the line LOS for being able to fire down a little more correctly, as they were just a hair off. A valiant attempt from Josh, but just wasn't gonna. Or, excuse me, yeah, valiant attempt from Valen, but yeah, they just had it on lockdown from then and there. Just trades were just working a lot more favor in headshot percentage, and that's another thing that they do. They have a really good buddy system for retakes, and on top of that, they have a good buddy system for just trades in general. There's something that Pugstars need to be a little more aware when they go into this, is that when they push in as a group, that's the advantage, is just being able to get them on the aggression. But oh my gosh, You kidding me? I
Oh,
haven't seen a blast frag in a long time.
it is a rare moon. It is a shiny Pokemon coming out here, and that was really cool to see. But it seems like when the opening
How?
pick goes against Pugstars, yeah, I honestly I'm not sure where that came from. But notice how too, like when Pugstars get the opening pick against them, they slow down so much. There's no control of their
Yeah.
momentum here, and when they don't have that control, they get a little antsy. And sometimes that antsiness can come out of aggression like this, and they take advantage of it. Other times, though, it becomes a little bit too wary for themselves. They don't really know where they want to push just yet. But they're still holding positions. Valen's going to fall. Great picks going into the smokes, but even then, the flash potentially going to be coming out. Could blind out the entirety of B site if it's played correctly. But all these attackers still holding on tight. This could be a rotate potential.
Most likely, if they can win out the top shot, Boxy will be able to find it. Not usually how you try to take over sites, but fair enough, gets another one for their trouble as well. And suddenly, Pugstars nicely done. The passiveness is going to reward them by being able to rotate, catch people on the flank, or just any runarounds. And I usually don't see a lurking jet offer, but I mean, it seemed to work as the element of surprise was in their hand.
Oh, Bossy is just crazy when it comes to just about anything they bring out in their toolkit.
For
You
sure.
know, we've seen some at really high level play. One comes to mind is Win from Gen G, but even then, like this isn't Gen G playing. This is Bossy TV, and he came so close to tier 1 so many times now, and I feel like this might be kind of a remnant of that. But this other roaming jet is interesting too. We have Exile on the Sheriff, waiting very aggressively to see if anyone's going to poke on by, but the answer is going to be no. They're all taking mid.
Certainly just vibing out right now with their pistols, and I mean, I think everybody has some sheriffs, I believe. So going into this, they are going to try to see if they can one tap. Very doable. However, they do need to be careful if they are able to get the trades at all. But overall, if they take away some rifles, I think they're just content with that. Going into this, moving forward, though, Pugstars will be able to trade. Will be able to tie up the series. And now, what does Pugstar need to do, Greg, to be able to bring this in the lead?
I think Nosy's going to be a huge factor for headshot percentage to continue their lead, but when it comes to Pugstars, they really just need to find these kills. They're all stacked up as a group, and this usually works in their favor, but they're all rushing as a team. They don't realize there's a flank from behind. It's only just a classic. He's able to find one, makes it two with a classic. Oh, what a surprise there. But there's still one more to be found. It's going to be right around the corner. Valen, trapped, scared, blind, and deafened, and still able to find one. But that's still two more to deal with. Exalt, the roaming up, comes back yet again. But there's still one left to deal with. Cheat code, putting in the hacks right now. Game Shark, up and loaded. Having to deal in a 1v1 now. Has the percentage, gets the headshot on the Nosy. And that, yeah, man. Feel like the N64?
Game Shark was an N64.
Yes,
It was Game Boy Advance.
You're gonna hold on. You have to make me go. No, it was.
Well, there was a game. I know there was a Game Shark for Game Boy.
No, there was for the Game Boy. No, that was game. Was that Game Genie? Oh,
no, that was
jeez.
Game Shark.
I'm getting
Game
so
Genie
old.
sounds like N64.
It does. Oh, Femi, I'm getting so old.
No, it's okay. Don't worry.
Ripe old age of 21.
Okay, please. I'm 24 next month. Don't give me that. All right. Anyway, so beyond people are. Look, let's just forget about age right now, because age is not a matter of this factor. It's a matter of skill. As we're gonna go for the slam dunk and misses, and it's gonna be cool. But never mind. Not on the lamps, unfortunately. The lockdown will. No, they didn't do it. Never mind. Okay, I think I tried to drop it, but they didn't do so. But what might happen right now is a headshot from Simple, not Jay Sung through the smoke. The Rolling Thunder will happen, though. Might be able to find a couple. Nasi has been a huge impact for headshot percentage. Only able to find one, though, and now Josh is revealed in Gardens, and it's another swift execution from Pugstars as they now take the lead.
Fantastic lead at that too. Pugstars found their way to group up as a team and not get stalled out at B main. I think they've been having a lot of issues going towards the main cruxes of how you push ascent, and trees worked out pretty dang well compared to other routes. Mid had some good benefits to it. They won the round from that. Trees was a good benefit. They won from that. But Bammy, it comes down to this really big congestion B and A main, and a lot of teams just don't know what to do in a lot of these situations.
Well, it comes down to the comms and just being able to get that information. If they can do it, then that would be great. Iconic. Ooh, pushed up. Or no, sorry, Exile was pushed up, and they are going to be punished for that as Iconic was ready. Hunter Fury is going to come out. What they're going to try to find. They don't have too much information, as I would feel, as Exalt would be really the only one there, unless Nasi just catches them off guard. Guys, you got to remember, the smoke is now 4 seconds. You're not going to be hidden there for 2. So we'll be able to get away with one, and now there's an even Steven kind of score. Not much in the way of firepower, but they can certainly get away with some stuff.
There's not going to be any crouching tigers or hidden dragons here. It's going to be the Blades coming down, taking down Miniature, and that's going to be the Cypher we were talking so much about in the pre-show, falling away instantly. Spike's going to go into the ground, and Nazi's on a 3K, but it's going to be traded out immediately. 2 left alive now for these defenders. Cheat Code has a really great placement, able to see Highway and on the immediate left from CT side. If he's able to find the next kill, this could be a game changer here, but the Hunter's Fury is not going to find any impact. Bit of a waste of an ult. One on Highway, not going to be finding out just in time. The flick comes out from Josh, able to go down onto the side, finds the double from it.
Be able to secure and tie up the score. It's a pretty close game, and this does make it feel like this shouldn't have been a top 32 match, as this is very back and forth, but I am thoroughly enjoying myself all the same. Really need to make that round count for them, and they certainly made their bang for their buck. That investment was certainly risky. Now they don't have much room to play with, but they have, you know, still room to play with at the end of the day. They will be going into that op in full armor, which feels great as a Jet. They are also close to Rolling Thunder, a couple ultimates as well. The Neuro Theft is potentially a great way to seek some information. So they could potentially punish the Pugstar push. It depends on how Pugs plays it. They have been doing a little bit of passive back and forth, which has caught them off guard.
Oh, speaking of caught off guard, though, a double smoke coming on through. Even the Cyber Cage still able to find some bodies through it. They're not going to be phased by any smokes. Miniature did his job before he fell, and the bodies of Pugstar's side have whittled away just a little bit more. There's one left alive. It's going to be Cheat Code, who I want to focus on because they have that Empress. If we see the Empress come on out, this could be a game changer here, but again, locked away, smokes everywhere, trying to slowly inch their way forwards. There's just not a lot of movement to really come out from here. Everyone on Pugstar's side completely separated away as well. And yeah, what is going on with that Breach? He's been playing such odd positions this entire game, and surprisingly, they've worked pretty well. Nosy right around the corners, able to take him by surprise like a jack in the box coming up, a spring loaded with death. Nosy is able to find another one, but still 2 to 4, or 2 to 1, if you will. Cheat Code having eyes on one to the immediate left, gonna relegate themselves downwards onto B site. If Cheat Code can push up and maybe find one more, this could be a great round for them, but this spike is not too far away. It's right behind Cheat Code. He's playing Save the President, able to trade some out, but the spike's gonna fall. 20 seconds left, 3 left on the board, all hidden away themselves. No one's in a position to find the next kill. In the top 32, every kill matters here, but they're able to get onto the site, Bemmy. The planet may very well go down, but they're surrounded by the enemy. Joshy not gonna find another highway kill this time around. This could be an ace coming up from the Reyna, but the Rolling Thunder comes on through. Can that be it? It is!
Just so close. A very valiant effort coming in there, but headshot, they just had a good amount of trades going into it early, and the push just felt like very uncertainty. It felt like Pugstar was very spread out, and honestly, it felt Headshot was prepared for that. Nasi, like we said, was waiting in Jalalo in very unique corners and pretty much prepared, and also the Rolling Thunder, even though it didn't deny the plant, it was able to deny just the 2v1, and that worked out very much in their favor, just to keep the momentum going. Especially with a close score like this, you want to try to get as much of a lead as you can. And now they have more money to work with. They still are able to buy back into some not full armor, but they still have momentum on their side, and that's the important part. Plus a couple of ultimates to play with.
I really want to see how Pugstars want to attack this round. They've tried just about everything at this point, Bemmy. They've tried going straight onto a site. They've tried rotates. They've even tried delaying the inevitable and pushing at the very end. Some have had very success. Some have not worked out well at all. But now that we see a bit of a slow crawl to A site, there's two inside trees that they have to worry about as a team, especially Nosy with all that breach utility. We mentioned how strong he was on the attack, but he's just as viable on the defense. One in the right hand. Central Rolling Thunder, they're going to make the way onto the site, Demi.
They're going to push on through, and they do have an A site open for them as headshot percentage values the even player standings, just so that way they can make an easier retake. However, cheat code going to escape with their live, and Iconic is going to be right there to trade them out if they really need to trade out. But with the Empress, they'll be able to get two to one. Exalt may be able to stop, but already the spike's been planted. The door is able to be brought down, but it's still player disadvantage. But they're not looking in the right way. Bossy will get caught off guard. Iconic, though, is able to trade them out. Exalt's kind of all on their lonesome. They're going to try their best, but Buddy on Heaven, oh, it's a 2v2. It could work out. They have to touch on the defuse. Basedonk's able to catch one off guard. They're going to commit to the defuse. Oh, no! So close to getting to the defuse, but not to be the case. Simple just barely making it with enough time.
Holy moly. It's always Ascent where we see some of the craziest plays go down. There's nothing you can do when you're defusing that situation. You could have only prayed to the deities in the sky that maybe you could have gotten there a fraction of a second earlier. But that's just how it goes. A very close call from both teams here, but now it's going to be tied 5-5 again.
Well, I honestly feel like we did talk about them trying everything. I feel like, though trying everything, they haven't tried everything enough. I feel like this rush onto A side has been something that's been working. I think really when in doubt, you rush A, because the retake on this site is a lot more difficult than it is on B. Plus, on top of that, you have a Killjoy, which makes it doubly difficult. Like I said, the retakes with Killjoy in a post-plant situation make everything just that much stickier. So I would love to see it. With the round one, they're going to be a little more reserved, and they're strapped for cash on the side of Headshot. They still got some stuff to work with, but not much. The knives are coming out, so you know economically things are going to be a little interesting, and they're already going to push in. Exalt going in, not going to get much value, and there's the lockdown as well. Pretty much done deal. It's a save.
It is a bit of a save right now, but it was still a fantastic one at that. Able to put some work in here. The defense whittling down yet again. There's only two left alive. All of the non-intel agents on percentage side have already gone down. That's the trade-off that you have. The Cypher utility all dedicated to B. You have to put more bodies on A to make sure it works. Bossy's going to get a 4K out of all of that, but even then, it was still a save round. It was impressive to get a 4K, but it was expected to see Pugstars get the lead.
For sure, but it's just as impressive that they were very respectful to make it a flawless, which means economically this will save them quite a bit, so they don't have to buy any rifles per se, so this will work out very well in their favor. Now going into pretty much a buy round, or as much as a buy round as Headshot can go into. One Bulldog, not full armors, not ideal circumstances, and no ultimate either. No real ultimate to speak of for the side of Pugstars either, but they could possibly just get something going. Bossy is going to drop the knives, however, and they do know that there's a bunch stacked up at B, but this is probably going to be rotating as we are tending to see Pugstars do.
Yeah, a lot of rotates coming on through. They are in love with it. And honestly, I think at times headshot percentage is in love with them rotating as well. There have been plenty of instances where we've seen headshot catch them out on their rotates and just melt away everyone on Pugstars. But some instances like this one, it seems a little too erratic, a little too unpredictable. The attempted rotate out coming up from Valen comes back in, and he's waiting to see if they fell for the trap or not. What they don't know is that no one on HSP has moved at all. They're going to be trying to move on forwards. The double duelist scouting out the area to make sure it's safe for the entry for the spiked Omen. But even then, though, Bossy's able to find one. Exalt's going to fall. He's able to get a double kill. He clears out the site. The spike's going to go down. This is one of the best rounds Pugstars have had in a very long time. Only 3 left alive on HSP. But even then, it was a 4K last round. It was great, but can this be potentially an ace? No. Nosy's around the corner, taking down the duelists. That's going to be them eliminated away. The numbers whittling down. It was in their advantage for so long, and now it's back into the gutter. Only one left alive. The Hunter's Fury is the last hope that these guys have, but I don't think they're going to use it. They're going to be hiding in the smoke instead. Simple's able to find a double kill from them, but Nosy collapses back with a triple. It's down to a 1v1 yet again. Nosy's been a king of these 1v1s at the very last second. He looks around at the wrong corner. I spoke too soon.
Well, they're still good, but it's a 9 out of 10 situation, and that just happened to be the one. And honestly,
Placing
very
sentry.
well done there. Kai, I do appreciate that they try to hold unique positions. Like you said, both of them like to play weird angles, and
Alarm bot out.
however, it was just a matter of headshot just being caught off guard a little bit
Placing swarm
more,
grenade.
just with the good use of util. So much tag damage came in from Simple with the shock dart that made things a lot more difficult for trying to go for retakes. The health advantage was usually on Pug's side, so I would say that was a little bit of the factor. So gotta remember, kids, utility does manage to get frags.
I mean, this is going to be a rough round for HSP again. Their economy's not doing too great, and they had such a good start. What could they possibly do now to bring it back?
Well, it's on attack. I think honestly, you kind of stay together as a group. Don't try to spread out like Pug does. That just seems
Oh
to be a game
no.
that makes things difficult. As we see there already, Exal's going to get tagged up. It's a fair trade, though, to be fair to them. But Iconic finds one through the smoke. That's also something that has been very interesting. They don't give away position per se, but they do manage to take very ambitious shots. Pugstars and tend to be rewarded for their timing. That being said, though, I like the fact that they're pushing in a group. Headshot's been able to afford trades, and now they're rewarded with a player advantage, a post-playing situation that is more than ideal for them in this pistol round, but they need to win.
Ambitious is a great way of putting it, and ambitious it is. Valen's able to find one, and it's gonna make things a 3v3, but that Sova wasn't gonna last much longer anyways. That spike is right there for Chico. If they push on forwards, he almost getting the flick, but that was Valen from behind. But hey, there's a sniper above Valen. Even if it's just a pistol round, gets a triple kill from it.
And that's a very big pistol round won by Pugs. Sure, this map is defense favored. It's not by much, but it's still significant. It just allows them to keep this momentum going, though, and that's what's significant about it. Headshot percentage has worked in the past, or has had difficulty finding any kind of momentum. We see in the timeline that they've managed to string a couple of rounds together here and there. And to be fair to them, their score line is not too far away. They will be going into this force buy. However, I don't know how much I feel about trying to match this. Sure, Pugs was able to win it out with the force buy, but it's just going to be tough, I think. Especially with the fact that we are going to see cheat code on the Vandal around too. I just think that's
Oh,
going to be pretty difficult to go up
that's
against.
now that's ambitious. Exalt, though, is playing a dangerous game too, whether they know it or not. So many different bodies potentially around corners. He's gonna have to look away really quick and take his eyes off the prize, but he's gonna try to skedaddle his way back onto the site. Cheat code, Vandal in hand. We said it was ambitious. It may not work. Seems like it's already able to work with a double kill. Oh my, these attackers are just not able to get past this doorway. And whoa, Pugstars bringing things back, making sure there's no way of coming home.
Yeah, and also punishing that force buy as well, really making it just that more difficult. And I honestly am not a big a fan of force buying after a
Placing
loss,
sentry.
even though that's tend to be a theme a lot of the time, because economically you can come back very quickly. However,
Alarm bot out.
snowballing is a very real thing in Valorant, and the more momentum that you give to your team, even though it's a new half, the harder it is going to be coming back. I mean, Pugstars is one round away from double digits, and that means that we are almost coming to the home stretch, and it is a best of one keg.
That's right, it's still a best of one until we get to the grand finals. Miniature's going to start things off very nice on this save.
There
Already
you go.
able to find pretty much the only intel base that they have besides the Sova. Sure, everyone else can find their own with their eyes, but even then, no potential flanks, no potential anything really from the Killjoy completely gone. Things have taken a very slow turn though. Rotating around completely on A side. Valen's in a great spot to potentially find more than one, but he only has a stinger in hand. If he ADSs, he's got to slow down his fire rate so much, but he's gonna survive the blast shot through the wall, but they still don't know actually anybody's inside wine. Again, if he's able to go for the not ADS spray, it's gonna be all over the place, but he has the bigger potential to find more kills. He has to decide now, is he gonna play it safe? They're gonna check wine regardless, so he has to make a decision whether or not he wants to take down one body or multiple. He's gonna play it safe. They don't check blind. He's able to get the spray on two. The frenzy comes out of his pocket. But even then, he gets traded out. He's able to stifle the attack a little bit more. Sybil comes in clutch, is able to find another one as well. That's down to the double, Sova, and a duelist setup here. The Cypher's the lone wolf out. He's not a Sova or a duelist, but he's still gonna make the entry in anyways. On top of heaven, though, no one's checking their corners, and it's a wham, bam, like that, so quickly.
Well, a really good attempt there. They tried to invest in, a couple of things. It was a safe after all. They made it very, very close, so we got to give credit to Headshot for that. However, Pugs, again, Crossfire and Buddy system has been phenomenal coming in from them. And it's been a lot more cleaner as we've gotten more further down into the rounds. However, now we got to focus on the present here, Keg. We do see buys coming in from both sides. Nazi, unfortunately, won't have much armor going for them, but that I think is fine because they're probably looking like they're going to rush A.
Yeah, and this A rush, like you mentioned before, on the other side, it worked out pretty well for Pugstars at times, even if they didn't go for all the time. But now rushing A might be the beneficiary again of Headshot's percentage. The spike's not going to be anywhere in their possession. In fact, it's going to be so far behind. But look at Valen now. He might be able to find his imposter, and he does. That's one imposter off the board, but there's still 4 more for him to deal with and send off the ship.
Rough right now as Chico goes down, gets the trade at the very least. Interestingly enough, player advantage for Pugstars. There is no aggressive push, not going to commit to this, it seems like, and this is where I've seen kind of those pushes happen where they just sort of start to fall apart. If you don't push in with the rest of your team or push in with your Jet, it sort of gives enough time for the defense to kind of surround you. And Pincer, Nazi will be able to find Simple. Nicely done, Nosy, well done. They're still working out. Neurotheft will come out as well to reveal their location. Still got to be careful, though. It is going to be Bossy found out, though, and that's going to be an expensive gun out of their hands. Valen's going to be last one remaining, and a very significant player in this match, but unfortunately only 30 health. Doesn't really ring me a lot of confidence. I would probably just grab that off for your friend and then get the fudge out and dodge.
I could go for some fudge right now. Spike's still on the ground, though. He has a chance to maybe bring it back, but he's only going to get one and do exactly what you said, Bemi. He's going to grab that op and skedaddle. That is such an economic... what would the word be? Offset? Beneficiary? It's good for them. It's good for them to get the op, and giving out to probably Bossy or even the Reyna if they feel so inclined could be gigantic for them to further the lead they already have.
Makes it easier to invest into Dogecoin for sure. And also go for another ambitious potential investment. We saw hovering over the Odin. I don't think they are going to go for that. They are still able to buy into rifles, which is still significant. Cheat code, I'm guessing, is going to try to find one opening frag and then go for the Empress or try to overheal or something along the lines of that. We'll see. Bossy, though, probably going to wait to try to take one shot, but never mind. Gets tagged. Brilliant drone coming in there from the Sova on Headshot. It's going to be enough, though. They get tagged for tag. It's both Jets getting tagged. Honestly, it's a lot of mirror plays that happen a lot of time, but it's going to be the significance of going down mid and also A main and just sort of being spread out right now. I like this. Playing for picks, this headshot percentage before they commit to a site, and Pugstars doesn't know what to do with themselves.
Losing cheat codes is going to be devastating for Pugstar's side. He has been able to collapse on these teams so effectively and get so many different strings of kills. But it's going to be up to Valen, though. They're trying to make it worse, but another duelist is gone on HSP. But even then, there's still at least, well, no duelist on HSP's side, but there's still the Jet on Pugstars. Bossy TV2 getting the op from the previous round takes down Josh, and that's going to be the spike in the ground. What are they going to do now? Top of heaven, Bossy has a prime angle potentially on that breach, but he's going to look around to the other side and see if they can benefit and help out Conic instead. It's going to be tough. They're going to try to find that lockdown. In fact, they do, and the attackers come on by. Bossy's able to collapse back and find another, but there's still 2 more left on the site. These quick scopes aren't going to work. It's not Black Ops 2. He has to go around the corner, use the smoke to smoke him out. He's not able to find another one. He is trying to play it like a bayonet. He's not able to find the third. No!
What is this?
The whiffs!
Try to go for 2 no-scopes, I see. Alright. Interesting attempt. Fair enough. But Certainly great for TV, but not great for your team, unfortunately. Though, that being said, they can definitely afford the loss. This does give more of an opening, though, to headshot percentage. Now they have two rounds strung together. Economically, they're not in the greatest of spot, but now they have a little bit of a chance to start playing catch up. Now with a save coming in for the side of Pugstars and Keg, do you think there's anything they need to capitalize on that they're doing so well on HSP to keep this momentum going?
Oh, they just have to keep finding these opening picks. Simple, especially taking down Miniature, but even then, look at all the different aggression coming on through. What's going on with Simple? They just collapse onto the side like it's nobody's business. HSP perfectly describes what we were trying to say. They're able to just get back up. Iconic is saying something about that. Only down to 1v1. Where is this last attacker at? They're in a completely different country. They have to go back and get the spike. They're completely forced to engage on Bossy. The knives are out. The buns are out. No more up in hand. Instead, they have 5 little daggers that could spell doom and maybe get one round closer to match point if they connect. Bowman's coming from. He's going to go on CT side. This is probably the less predictable angle, but already Bozzy has the game sense to know it's most likely this. They're going to go highway. In fact, he's going to poke on up. Some knives are going to go out, but not enough to connect. The smokes are going to go down, hiding away where this jet could be. More smokes from the other side. The Omen, the Shroud, the Demon's going to find Bossy and bring things back. The spike for extra economy, and that is a 2-point differential.
Ooh, very, very close. Needed that to win. However, nicely done. Made it very damaging economically for headshot percentage. But Pugstars still keeping it respectably close, and they still have the lead, so they can afford these rounds. They will go back into buying, but if they lose this, this basically gives headshot the lead, or even tie at the very least. And this is going to be something that they have to bear in mind. Pugs needs to make this count. They have they have one ult advantage, but is it going to be enough? Already a big stun onto Bossy, and they have to fall back, giving up a main. And this has already looked like an ideal push, potentially. But cheat code! I like the cheekiness. Just peeks out of mid and then gets out of there. Finds one, gets another as well. Another peek. Again, the ambition coming in from Pugstars.
That is a strong opening for Pugstars now. They found 2 very critical members of HSP's side, but Bossy hiding at the top in the sniper tower. Rapunzel looking to see if they can get maybe yet another one after a very, very aggressively greedy kill. Seems like that's not going to be a possibility, though, as we push up heaven. Valen's able to find yet another one, and it's only down to 2. The duelists are gone. The intel, for the most part, is gone as well, minus the initiator of the Sova. Only alive now, but the op cannot find the shots on either of these two. It was the Sova. It was that breach last time that Bossy struggled with on the op. And yet, the same exact scenario again. Can this jet make up for it? It doesn't matter.
Just look. Unfortunately, I just saw that Jae-Sung looked away at the wrong moment where Chico was about to peek from a tree, and they didn't see them coming, so Chico had a very good opening. That being said, they were getting pincered from all sides. Well done from them. And we are going to see the force buy from headshot percentage. No save, and this means that they don't want to fight for overtime. They want to bring it home right here, right now. I'm usually a big fan of saving at this point and fighting for OT, which especially you're not far away if you're HSP. However, they are electing to go into this with armor and gun disadvantage, which is going to be tough. So uphill battle, but they need to stay together as a group and then trade valuably, and that's how they're going to win this. If they don't trade, then it's going to be tough for headshot percentage.
Yeah, and both teams have been really good too about getting these trades. It all depends on how the skirmish is going to go. Look at Exalt though, playing by themselves for the most part. The breach isn't too far away, but even then, someone has to peek. Is it going to be the breach in this blinding utility, or is it going to be Exalt in the smokes? There's different options here, but there's still one around the corner, and it's going to be the Killjoy. Conic is waiting for someone to strike, salivating at the chance of it, and the Vandal in hand. No, I'm sorry, it's a Phantom in hand, waiting for that opportunity to strike. 50 seconds are left. Someone's got to make a move. The smokes come on through. The blinds as well. Hunter's Fury's going to return in retaliation and melt away everyone that tried to go through trees. But the tree survives. Nosy, though, is going to help collapse out a little bit more. G-Code's on site, taking down the Omen ult. But even then, everybody else is on A main. They gave him plenty of time. The spike's in the ground, but not planted. That's going to be entirely in the favor of these defenders. But now you have to wonder, are they going to push? Are they going to relegate the round? Are they going to keep their economy and go for a 3-man save? There are options here that we're not yet seeing. We have to see what happens next. Bossy gets miniature. That's another one gone. But HSP, their numbers are going down. They have to push. They only have so little time. The breaks come out, but isn't going to be enough. No, G-Code yet again is able to find so many with a triple 2 rounds in a row.
And I gotta agree with you, Keg. I would have loved to seen the save. Like a 3-player save would have been so nice to see, just from the standpoint of like if you I wasn't feeling it. You had little to no time. The spike was not in your possession. It was in a great crossfire setup. Granted, you were able to find one and drop a neurotheft to find the positioning. But even then, player disadvantage was in there, and there wasn't going to be any value in the trades. So now you have these very feeble weapons against just an arsenal against Pugstars. This is going to make things difficult. Gets a little bit of a tag, but honestly, that is as much excitement as we're going to get from HSP. I think this is pretty much all they wrote here for this match for Tag.
Unfortunately, being a best of one, they don't have any redos on a second or maybe even a third map here. HSP on potentially their final round with just pistols in hand. They're at least all still alive, given almost that a minute has gone by here. And that's something to, something good. But even then, they have to rotate through their spawn. There's not really many options they have left. They are quite literally backed up into a corner. Foxes around them. Being a jackal of a team, they are ready for the inevitable. These Lions on Pugstars, they're ready to strike. They're going to tear away the flesh, but it's only a matter of seconds. They're going to not go for the same trick again. No one's hiding in wine this time around, but the Rolling Thunder could be the last chance for this economy team to bring things back. Exalt has the knives out, able to hide in hell, waiting for someone to strike, but right above them are 2 little angels who are ready to curse their own vengeance. There you go! Chico gets Exalt, but it was all a trick. They're all going to B-site. This could be a great chance for them to bring it back. Conic and Exalt seem confused, but they have to keep on going. They have market under control. If anyone tries to go B-main, it's not going to be too little too late, but Conic needs to push on forwards. Detected, could be wall banged from the right. Not going to happen just yet, but look at Jae-Sung though. He's hiding away. Shot darts in hand, goes for the flick. Not going to do too much damage, but that could be a kill. That's not going to be. Conic comes in clutch and another triple kill from Chico. That's 3 rounds in a row, Bammy.
3 rounds in a row and the game. Really beautiful attempt from headshot percentage. I honestly thought maybe with a post-plant situation they could get away with it, especially with having the Killjoy, but no, not the Killjoy, because they had Nosy, and it was a very nice attempt from Nosy as well, but Pugstars coming in on top with just the sheer amount of abilities to get away with trades, get frags that were very much in their favor, and honestly, I would say lack of Killjoy hurting a little bit. I'm a big fan of the Rolling Thunder, but you can't deny a lockdown is just so strong.
And we saw the early lockdowns coming out too, and it proved to be just so destructive on B side, especially from one of the teams. But even then, we did see the Rolling Thunder, I think, only once in that entire matchup. And while it helped a little bit, it was on an eco round where it was already seemingly done and dusted for them.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow, but honestly, you got to give it to them. Just headshot percentage was a very good team, but just Pugstars feeling themselves today, as you can see from Cheat Code being our MVP. And heck, what an MVP that was. You don't usually get to get a Phantom or Vandal first round and then get value off of that, but Cheat Code was one of those players that could do it.
I'm a little jealous, to be honest with you. You don't see Reynas like that too often in Tier 2, and maybe even Tier 3, where they just absolutely destroy the competition. And you're right, Bambi. They played really aggressive, they played audaciously, and they made it work, especially Cheat Code at the very end.
Yeah, gotta give it. Credits to headshot percentage, but Pugstars feeling themselves today, but they, much like a lot of the other teams are going to be moving on into the top 16, they're also feeling themselves around. So Pugstars, not out of it quite yet, but good job all the same.
And with that being said, I think we are going to be going to a small little break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have more teams coming up here, and it's going to be more amazingness, and it only gets more and more tough competitively from here as well. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.